Be warned, some of the pictures presented in this video is very disgusting. When I got my PC in 2013, these were the basic specs. An i7-3930K processor, 32GB of DDR3 RAMs, and 2 Sapphire Radeon HD 7970 GHS 6GB GGDR5. No idea what that last part means, or even at that time what that first part meant. All of these components were encased in a Cooler Master Storm Striker gaming big tower, and I love it. I remember not long after I got it, I had to send it back to the people I bought it from because it broke for some reason. And when I got it back, they had swapped my power supply with a 650 watt one to an 850 watt, and it has worked ever since. Then sometime after that, I swapped out my graphics cards for a GTX 1080, and that was the last thing I did. Until about a year or two ago, when it started making this horrendous clicking noises whenever I turned the computer on. I suspect it had something to do with the fan, so I opened it up and started to do some advanced dusting, but the sound remained, and I just didn't care anymore. I lived with it until recently. The clicking noise just stopped. I assumed it just fixed itself. I never opened it up to check if a fan had stopped working, which I absolutely should have done, because when I did my most recent upgrade, I found out that the fan that was cooling my old CPU had died, which is probably why I got many error messages like these. Oh no. But it's time. It's time to upgrade my CPU. So I consulted with my good friend Zeus to help me scout for a CPU that I should go for. And he landed on a Ryzen 7 3700X. And I said, but what about a 3800X? He compared the two CPUs and said that there were barely any difference. To which I said, nonsense, young boy. So I added a 3800X to my shopping cart. Then I needed a new motherboard. He said that the Asus ROG Strix B450F gaming socket AM4 should do the trick, because the 3800X would not fit in my old lousy Asus P9X79LE socket 2011 PC rep. So that one was added to my shopping cart, and because I got a new motherboard, I now need a new RAM, because this new one uses DDR4 and my old ones use DDR3. So I found some that match what I previously had, some 32GB ones, and bada boom! These were the new parts I needed to upgrade. I hit the order button, bragged about it arriving on Twitter, went on a little holiday, f***ed up my foot playing Cub, returned home, and now it's upgrade time. Turns out my rig needs some cleaning, and I was prepared. I did a video a while back where I did some basic cleaning of my computer, and people said, uh-oh, don't use a vacuum, you idiot, which is common knowledge. So this time I invested in some air in a can. But after I started to dismount everything that needed changing, I noticed that my graphics card had dust in it. I was able to remove it though, but then I removed the fan cooling my old CPU, and oh my goodness, oh my god. Not only did the fan not work anymore, but I bet even if it did, I wouldn't have seen a difference. This is my old CPU. Now my PC consultant Zeus said that thermal paste never go bad, and this just looks worse than it is. And here is everything plugged out of the motherboard. And here I got the motherboard out. Oh god. If you watch this video right now and you haven't seen the inside of your computer in over a year, take a look. Take a gander. And now everything is out and ready for the replacement. But before we start plugging stuff, we need to do some dusting. It doesn't require blowing, this requires scrubbing. Then it was time to insert the new CPU. I had watched a few videos on the line telling me that I had to be super careful, because if I effed it up just a tiny bit, my house would explode. But I did great. I managed to do it. I popped the included CPU cooler on, plugged in the cable fan. There were two cables that follow with it that I had no idea what were for. Looking at the manual, it seemed like it was for an LED or another fan or something. Then it was just a matter of plugging stuff in, and there is no shame in using a manual here. Ain't that right, Henry? Yeah, that's right. And there you go. Should be ready. It's time to boot this baby on. Now the first time I tried to turn it on, no screens were working. Second time I turned it on, still none of the monitors showed anything. The third time though, yeah, we did good. Notice that I just turned it on and off 3 times, and after the third time, bam, it worked. And that's my PC build video. There you go. Don't use it as a tutorial. Did I do better than Verge? Let me know. Thanks for watching, Pixels, and I will see you soon.